It's all that you'll say. It's the maddest kind of love. It's a mad, mad love. It's the maddest kind of.
Time for 7 Sports with Gene Levanti.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight at the 1999 Big Brother Awards Gala, Bashir and Mike conquer Alaskan tundra and school. Michael and Peter turn the ordinary into extraordinary. And Edwin and Steve, brought together by a teacher, teach each other about life. The Awards Gala is next.
Good evening. Welcome. It's great to see all of you here tonight. Wow. Is this not an elegant evening? It's wonderful to have all of you here. I'm Randy Price from 7 News, along with my partner, Gene Levanti. You know, thank you. The big and the little brothers are just part of the story that we're here tonight to celebrate. In fact, it's amazing when you think about it. This is a story that is a half century old. It was 50 years ago that the Big Brother Association of Greater Boston was born. And it has grown over the years to the point where it is now the largest Big Brother association in this country. In fact, this year, 1,000 young boys will enjoy the friendship of a Big Brother here in Greater Boston. That says a lot. Tonight, we're here to celebrate some of the people who have made Big Brother's accomplishments possible. And we're going to start with the very first Big Brother. 1949 was the year. It was before some of us were born, by 1 year, I'm happy to say, for me. And you know how it is that your friends can rope you into these things that you never expect, and somehow it turns out to be a great thing. But his friend was a fellow named Sam Tyler. And Sam had this idea to start this Big Brother agency. His friend's dream roped him in, and he was the agency's first Big Brother. He got roped in, but he enjoyed it. He did a great job, and we're so thrilled tonight to be saluting the wonderful things he did back in 1949 as the first Big Brother. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome and give a big salute to Mr. David Livingston. Mr. Livingston, please stand up. Thank you, Mr. Livingston, our first Big Brother. And we continue with our honorary Big Brothers recognized tonight for their dedication to children as well. My boss, Mike Carson, Chad Gifford, Anna Faith Jones, Bennery Wiley, and Fletcher Wiley. And Flash Wiley, I saw him just a moment ago. If we could get him to stand up for a moment. I know Flash will be leaving us for another charitable endeavor. He does so many of them. Before the awards portion of this evening, and we want to have a chance to applaud Flash in person. Where's Flash? But most important of all in this celebration are the young men whose accomplishments and their everyday triumphs are the reason for the Big Brother program. For that part of the story, we turn to our Team 7 coverage in the field. Here's my colleague, Gene Levanti.
All right, Randy, thank you very much. I got the good assignment again. Down here in the VIP area, and we've got some very important people here, some impressive gentlemen. Tony Simmons of the New England Patriots is here. Tony is here. His teammate Chris Floyd, fullback, is here. Chris, where are you? He's over there. Max Lane, Patriots offensive lineman. Impressive guys. We appreciate them being here, but we don't want to hear from them. Where's my man Ryan? Hi, Ryan. How you doing, buddy?
Good.
You're sitting next to Tony Simmons. What's more impressive, that or seeing Randy Price in person?
Tony Cinnamons.
Oh! You got to be kidding me. You got all these other guys over here trying to get in the shot. Let's get a shot of these guys as well. What brings you out here tonight?
Just to hang around.
To hang around? You want to get some good grub while you're here, too?
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. How would you like to meet a Hall of Famer?
It would be nice.
Okay, how you doing, Gene Levanchi, Walpole High Hall of Fame? No, just kidding. Do you know who John Hanna is? He's a Patriots Hall of Famer. Come with me, you guys can follow. John Hanna, where are you? John Hanna, stand up. John, Hall of Famer, table 28. Where is he? He went where? This is like the Oscars when, who was it who went to the ladies' room or whatever it was? Christine Lottie. This didn't happen in rehearsal. In fact, we didn't have a rehearsal. Well, we were kind of springing on him, but I tell you what, John, is he going to be back sometime, or was this like a long trip, you think? We don't know. Mike Ruth was there, former Patriot, Outland Trophy winner at Boston College, is here tonight as well. He was just down there. But we'll get you guys to meet John Hanna in a moment because we know John. There's Mike Ruth over there, Mike. Appreciate you coming out tonight as well. If you can find John, bring him in. We'll get you guys to meet John Hanna in a moment. All the Patriots are here. Don Lowry from the Patriots front office is here as well. So we get some very important people here, all out here tonight to help raise money and to try to do their best for the Big Brothers Association. There's a lot of big and little brothers here tonight. They're trying to help the agency raise more money and also make more matches. And at 7 News, we're trying to help out as well. Let's go ahead and roll that tape. Ever wonder what it's like to be a kid again? Where the toughest decision is choosing between playing catch and shooting hoops. And the answers to all of life's questions are found in the Saturday morning cartoons. I'm 7 News' Gene Levanchi. As a big brother, you can be that kid again, or at least hang out with him. For just a couple of hours, a couple of times a month, you get to have fun with a kid who'd really like to hang out with you. Call 617-542-9090 to find out more. Be a big brother and have a little fun.
You know, Gene, as you well know, every time the Big Brother Association finds a kid a big brother, they are giving that child an extra chance to live up to his potential.
No question, Randy. We all need someone that we can look up to. Now, in the piece that you're about to see here in just a moment, we'll learn that respect and admiration have nothing to do with size or age. We'll show you how those qualities can develop quickly from a big brother, from a little brother to a big brother, that is, and then back again. Take a look. At Big Brother Association, we envision a world where every child has someone to look up to. In that perfect world, every child would have someone to turn to when he had a question or needed a shoulder to cry on, someone to celebrate his achievements and encourage him when growing up gets tough. The friendship of a big brother can provide that someone and so much more. Since 1949, Big Brother Association of Greater Boston has grown into the largest Big Brother agency in the country by building bridges between communities through the simple act of creating friendships between one adult and one child in need. More than 6,000 boys and their families have felt the friendship of a big brother. Each month, more than 30 volunteers become big brothers. But for every child that comes off the waiting list, there are 2 more families waiting to add their names to the list. There is no community untouched by children in need. The need for a big brother knows no social or economic boundaries. One man, one boy. That's the Big Brother formula. But while we focus on telling their stories just one boy at a time, we are working with nearly 500 families simultaneously in our effort to find a big brother for every child that needs one. This may sound like a formidable task, but by focusing on every little brother and giving him the power to realize his dreams, this goal is attainable. Realizing their dreams by listening to them tell their story, one story at a time.
I see Donald as a best friend and a brother. Not a big brother, but a brother.
We've come a long way since we initially started. Jeff was somewhat of a quiet, bashful type of individual, and he's grown to be a more mature individual. He's more open now, and it's nice to see the progress in Jeffrey.
My life before my big brother was like downhill, you could say. I didn't have a male role model. School wasn't that great. And friends, I didn't have that many friends.
I think it's very important for us to, take in consideration the way they're coming up, so find out what's going on, what's making them click and why they're doing the things that they're doing, so we can assess a certain situation and provide necessary advice.
I always had a good relationship with my mom because, she was there. She was trying to be a mom and the dad, and I give her a lot of respect for that. Everything's still good with me and my mom. I love her. I met Donald when I was 7 or 8 years old. We've done a lot of things in life. I've grown to respect him and love him, basically, as a brother. We've been through trials and tribulations, and he's taught me how to get through certain things in life and how to be ready for certain problems that could come to life.
I wanted to get to a point where he could openly talk to me and ask for advice or, ask for my opinion, in other words. And I think we're there. I think we have a wonderful relationship. I mean, he's a wonderful person. Just to see him come into his own, I mean, it's definitely self-gratifying for myself. I try and instill just the basic values in terms of being a man, more in particular an African-American male in today's society.
He taught me that I need to work hard in life in order to achieve. I can't just mess around in life. And in order for me to work hard, I need to work hard in school. In order to take care of my family in life, I need to have a good job, and you have to be good in school to do that. We've had our ups and downs, but the good thing about it is that we got through them. I wouldn't want anything to change about me and Donald. I mean, he's just everything a little brother would want in life.
I think we're at a place right now where with Jeffrey, we will always be together and be a part of each other's lives.
I have somebody for me to grow up with, a male role model to grow up with, and hopefully we'll still be together to see each other, to see me grow into a man and see him grow into an old man.
When we first met, I really didn't know what to expect. Like, when we just first saw each other, I just was like, kind of like shy, so I didn't say a word, really. But once I did, it started like a really good relationship.
The first meeting I had with Ryan was a little awkward because I'm not a completely outgoing guy, and Ryan's kind of on the quiet side too. Since then, I mean, it's hard to think back to that first time. I mean, now it's like he's my little brother. I don't know, he's not even my little brother, he's a friend of mine. And that's the way I look at him.
He signed up when he was 7 and got a match about 2.5 years later when he was 9. That's when he met David. And he and David have been involved with visiting and seeing each other just about every weekend since then.
I first thought of it as I'm giving to this little kid, but I didn't realize how much in return I was getting and how good I feel after seeing Ryan. I think I have an impact as a big brother. I think I've seen a change in Ryan, and he started to open up with me, and he seems to be a lot more outgoing now than he ever was.
Like, we went from like the beginning where we didn't talk at all to the middle where we had like sort of a relationship but not that big of one, and now we're like real brothers. Kids really need somebody to look up to and really need like somebody they can laugh with and talk with besides a parent.
What Ryan's gotten from David is immeasurable. He is calmer than he was. He has a sense of confidence that I know he would never have had David not come into his life and just been there.
I'm relearning all about the dating game of being a 12-year-old and the struggles of going through school now, dealing with different issues with friendships and sports and how to handle older kids. It doesn't seem like it was that long ago, but things have changed a lot.
He's special because I really don't know anybody like him. Like, he's kind of one of a kind. He's really funny, nice, not like too mean. He's fun to play around with, and you can never get bored of him.
David is there for Ryan. He doesn't discipline him. He's there to have fun with him, to be another adult that Ryan can bounce things off of.
The summary between me and him would be that we just started out like not saying a word to each other, and then we just acted like real brothers. I think Dave is one of the best people I've ever met.
The only issue that I've ever come across was one time I thought he was having trouble at school, but I think I over-exaggerated it because he said he was getting pushed into lockers and stuff like that. But that's just the stuff that the kids do when they're 12 years old. So, I mean, I wanted to make sure that he was all right, and that, I mean, as a big brother, I was ready to go down there and do what I had to do. It's just a great friendship that we have, and it's fun to know that I have a kid like Ryan that looks up to me and likes to spend time with me.
Friendships seem like such a simple idea, but having a big brother can mean the difference between a life of promise and one of trying to survive. For thousands of children in our community, that friendship may be their best chance toward a successful future. Big Brother Association of Greater Boston wants to give them that chance. One dream, shared by one boy, one man, and you.
You have to admit that it is so uplifting when you see the good that comes, and we are here tonight to celebrate those friends like Donald and Jeff and Dave and Ryan. In fact, 50 years of friendship. It's certainly a remarkable story, and, well, we should take a break. So we'll take a break for dinner, and that'll be coming up on the other side of the break. Better than commercials. And Gene and I will be back during the dessert hour.
This is a 7 News special report.
All right, everyone, we're back. Have your attention, please. How was dinner? Everybody's dinner pretty good? Let's hear it for the wait staff here at Seaport. Excellent dinner tonight. Thank you for their help. Everyone was terrific. I'd like to continue with the program now. Over the first 50 years of friendship, many outstanding individuals have made their mark on the Big Brother Association. 6 of them are here this evening, and we'll salute their enduring commitment to the children in our community by naming them honorary Big Brothers. Now, here to help with the presentation is Big Brother President John Pearson. John?
Thank you, Gene.
Now, our first honoree, wait a minute, I'm sorry. This just in, we have a special assignment reporter, Robert Powell. He has a very special announcement to make. Robert, would you care to join us here, young man?
Yes, I will.
Would you watch your...
Yes, I will. Thanks.
We have the official Big Brother milk crate for Robert to stand on. Here you go.
My name is Robert Powell, chairman of the board. Chip Stauffer couldn't be here tonight, so he asked me to read this to you. On behalf of all Match's board members and staff, John Pearson, when you arrived at Big Brother Association 15 years ago, our agency was in crisis. But today, our program serves as a model for agencies around the country. Even more importantly, Big Brother is a beacon of hope for families and children throughout our community, which more than 850 boys served already this year. Mr. Pearson, your entire adult life has been spent in the service of children and the Big Brother family. You have been a role model to countless colleagues and peers. For these reasons and so many more, it is our privilege to present you the very first Honorary Big Brother Award.
John, congratulations. And Robert, terrific job, Robert. Our news director, Mark Berryhill's right over there if you want to submit a resume. We're looking for some talented guys like yourself to join our staff at 7 News. John, now we'd like to turn things over. And again, congratulations.
Thank you, Gene. Well, thank you very much. I don't have a script for this piece, and I were told to keep it short. Didn't know this was going to happen. In fact, I very thank everybody for surprising me with the important women in my life, my mother and my wife and my 2 daughters and my new son-in-law. And I'm terrible at reading scripts now. I have to try and follow one. So bear with me. I thank you all for being here. And thank you, Gene. It's nice to have a professional at the podium help us. This first honoree is no stranger to our masters of ceremony. Mike Carson has given our vision a face and a voice for hundreds of thousands of potential volunteers. Almost immediately upon his arrival in Boston, all of us in the not-for-profit community noticed a difference. Mike's drive to involve Channel 7 in the good works of this city has made an impressive impact. A tireless champion of this agency's efforts to recruit Big Brothers, he has repeatedly shared WHDH-TV's resources and provided us the vehicles by which we can share the Big Brother story. 7 News' outstanding public service announcements have inspired many Big Brothers. Mike's presence just outside the footlights has been a hallmark of Big Brother WHDH relationship. His continued commitment to the families we serve makes him and WHDH deserving role models for others. For creating images that for so many people are Big Brother, it is our pleasure to name Mike Carson an honorary Big Brother. Mike.
Well, thank you very much. I got a little alarmed there. I thought I was going to have to read John Pearson's speech here. But it's kind of humbling to follow him because he's such a great, great guy. And I think it's amazing how he low-keyed that entire acknowledgement of what a remarkable man he's been and how important he's been to this organization. So, John, my hat's off to you, not only for the honor, but for the way you dodged this and quickly moved it into me. He should have been in television. I will make this very brief, but I tell you, I'm very honored by this acknowledgement. But I also have to be honest with you when I tell you that I feel that it's, I almost feel like a fraud when I'm acknowledged for doing something that I feel so strongly about. You know, I feel like I'm just doing my job. And when I see these kids, I choke up, and I think it's so great what this whole cause is all about. I also think it's kind of interesting that I get the opportunity to take credit for example, the work that Gene Levanchi does in his commercial that we run, trying to get people to pick up the phone and call and be big brothers. But you know what? Every time we run that spot, Gene, the phone rings. Isn't that right, John? I mean, honest to God, it could be 6 a.m. and the phone rings. I feel like I'm on Channel 2 and saying, call, and we got people to answer those phones, but we do. And I think it's also, I'll end my acceptance by telling you that it's kind of interesting that the person who created the commercial or the PSA that Gene is in is a guy named Steve Donald, who nobody knows in this room because he's only worked at Channel 7 for about 6-7 months, and he's our creative services director. And just coincidentally, Steve, who came here from Chattanooga, Tennessee, was a big brother. And it's just kind of interesting how this whole thing works. So thank you very much for the acknowledgement, and keep the passion going for just a great, great cause.
I was pleased to find that Dan Slara, a friend of ours, was going to be here to accept the award for Chad Gifford. Dan Slara is Director of Corporate Sponsorship and Community Services for Bank Boston, and a good friend to Big Brother in his own right. A visible and vocal advocate for our community's children, Chad has encouraged his corporation and his employees to share time, talent, treasure with boys and girls in need. I've seen this firsthand as a fellow co-chairman of the Massachusetts Promise with Chad. Few corporations in recent years can compare to the level of commitment which Bank Boston has extended to our efforts at Big Brother. From recruiting mentors to funding our expanding services, Chad and Bank Boston have set an example of individual and corporate citizenship that is unparalleled. For demonstrating time and time again that an investment in children is one of the wisest we can make, we are proud to pronounce Chad Gifford honorary Big Brother. Dan?
Chad had a family commitment tonight that kept him from here, but it allows me to do two things. One is the bank has been partnering with Big Brothers for over 10 years now on their recruitment challenge. And it's really our honor, we're receiving an honor tonight, but it's really our honor to partner with such a great organization that does such tremendous work. I actually came to the bank 10 years ago, and John Pearson was actually one of the first people I met from outside the bank. And Chad not being here tonight allows me to continue the congratulations to John in the sense that knowing John for 10 years, I'm constantly amazed by the integrity and the leadership qualities of this man, and he's one of my heroes. So I'm very happy that Chad couldn't be here tonight, so I could say that. Chad did ask me to say one thing, though, that a quality organization like Big Brother deserves and needs our support, and we will pledge, and we have pledged, to continue our support and our work with Big Brother long into the future. So thank you.
Since the Boston Foundation first gift to us in 1969, the organization that Anna Faith Jones leads has been an integral part of the support in Big Brother's effort to learn how to serve more children. With Anna Faith at the helm, the foundation has focused on how we as a community can help ourselves. By teaching and encouraging individual philanthropy, she and her organization are making Boston a place where a children's charity can thrive. Her biography explains that Anna Faith grew up surrounded by strong role models in an atmosphere of dedication to education and community service that has affected the direction of her life and her work. We at Big Brother Association have witnessed that firsthand. Here to accept for Anna Faith Jones is Jack Gala, a Big Brother and member of the Boston Foundation staff. And I believe Jack first inquired about being a Big Brother when we went down to find out what the giving guidelines had changed. And he asked if there were children in need in his area. Jack, I'm glad to have you here to help us as we celebrate Anna Faith's leadership and impact on the families of Greater Boston with the presentation of this honorary Big Brother Award.
I'm really happy to accept this award for Anna Faith Jones. She's very committed to this, and I'm very happy to be part of this program. Thank you.
Many couples get involved in the same charities, but seldom with such equal impact. Both Bennery and Flash Wiley have left an indelible mark on our agency. Both have done so with an ease and manner that encourages others to participate. Flash has championed special events, serving as honorary co-chairman and master of ceremonies of one of Big Brother's most successful annual auctions while he was still a partner at Goldstein and Manello. Benny has spent numerous hours behind the scenes helping to recruit some of our most effective new board members, making the resources of the partnership available to us in so many ways. Both roles, fundraising and board development, are critical to the health and future of this and any agency. Benny, for being a living example that two is better than one, it is an honor to confer honorary Big Brother on each one of you. Benny Wiley.
Thank you. As was explained earlier, Flash had made a commitment to MC another charity this evening before we knew about this honor, so that's why he had to leave. And for any of you that know Flash, for him to leave when he had the opportunity to sing to a captive audience means he really did feel an obligation. So I'm sure he would have loved to have been here. But I speak on behalf of both of us when I say how honored we are to receive this award from the Big Brothers Association. It's an organization that we have a lot of respect and affection for, and on my behalf to bring talented professionals of color to an organization that does so much to change the lives of young people of all colors is just a pleasure, and it's an honor to receive this award, and I thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome Randy Price back to the podium.
Wow. Still back in the program now, huh?
With more than 850 children served already this fiscal year, it's easy to see why the support of people like Mike, Chad, Anna Faith, Benny, and Flash is so very much important.
And we certainly salute all of them. But you know, without the Big Brothers, we would not be here tonight. We are, in fact, saluting three men whose simple act of friendship has made them heroes. Their presence has certainly left an indelible imprint on the lives of their little brothers. And here to present the 1999 LPL Financial Services Big Brother Distinction Awards is Bill Dwyer, and Bill is the Senior Vice President of Branch Development. Bill?
Whoa. Get a little room. Guess I don't get to use the milk crate that they have over here. Didn't mean to knock you off the stage there. Now you know what John means, why we're happy to have professionals here and not... Hey, it's with great pleasure I'm here to represent LPL, and we are very proud to sponsor this award again this year. For those of you who don't know, LPL Financial Services is the largest independent broker-dealer in the country, and what that means is that we have 1,600 family-owned and operated businesses around the country where mentoring is everything, where mothers and fathers own and bring sons and daughters into their businesses and grow them into a great opportunity. So mentoring is a big deal to us, and when we get an opportunity to give back to the community, we look for organizations that respect this, and obviously no one more than the Big Brother organization recognizes the role that mentoring can play, and we are very proud to be associated with this. I have to tell you quickly from a personal level that my association with this goes back 13 years ago when my then friend and now brother-in-law became a part of the Big Brother organization and took on a little brother who happened to live not far from me. And Joe took it on much as some of these stories told us earlier, in the sense that he felt, hey, he could give some back and have a little fun. At the time, he didn't tell me it had to do with learning how to date again, but he got involved, and I remember he came by one Saturday afternoon after being with his little brother PJ, and he said, you know, I'm a little taken aback. And I said, what happened, Joe? He said, you always have a great time with PJ. He said, well, today I decided to ask him, you know, more about his life and what's going on at his high school, or at his school at that time, grade school. In fact, PJ is about to graduate from Bentley College this year. That's how far this goes back. But he said to me, I wanted to know who your friends are. What do they talk about? Who are your best friends? And PJ turned to Joe and he said, Joe, you're my best friend. And I saw that again in this tonight, and I want you to know that we at LPL think the world of this organization, and it's not just a financial commitment, it's a personal commitment to this organization. And we thank the Big Brothers that are involved, but also all of you tonight who have contributed to this. You know, I got to do this last year, and I prepared a long speech, and just before I came up, John told me I had 20 seconds. And so I came this year with a 20-second speech, and they gave me 3 pages. So I'll go to a script here a little bit and tell you that we're very honored now to bring up a special group of volunteers. David Dulceski and his little brother Ryan, Neri Gomez, and Robert. If you could also stand up as we acknowledge you here. Matthew Holland and Robbie. Chip Layton and Eric. Jeff Matthews and Joseph. Michael, Minnie, and David. Rishi Perrick and Victoriano. Kevin Panucci and Matthew. Jack Ram and Gilberto. Jeffrey Sweat and Colin. David Winders and Matthew. And Lee Zuo and Benjamin. If all of you could stand, that would be great. All of you have been nominated. It would be great if you stand, but also if there are any other Big Brothers in the audience, past or present, if you wouldn't mind standing right now and all of us could give you an ovation, we'd enjoy that. To introduce our first honoree, it's my pleasure to share the podium with Tracy Kimball, Director of Program Services at Big Brother.
is with great pleasure and pride that I get to present to you two very special people. Big Brother of Distinction honoree, Peter Blackburn, and his little brother, Michael. I first met Michael and his mom about 4 years ago. Actually, it was longer than 4 years ago. And at that time, Michael, I think, presented as, a lot of boys do who we are trying to get into our program. He was a boy who didn't have a positive adult male role model in his life consistently, and he was having some difficulties making friends, and he was facing some very special challenges. And then we made a change, and we brought a very special person in his life, Peter Blackburn. Another thing that I learned when I met Michael 4 years ago was that 9 years prior to that, his mother had actually requested services for his older brother. And because we didn't have enough volunteers at that time, we weren't able to make a match for him. I soon became a case manager with a mission that was not going to be impossible. And lucky for me, Peter Blackburn decided to volunteer to be a big brother. And in July of 1996, these two guys got together and met for the first time. And as you can see, they are still very much together. The reason that I decided to nominate these folks out of many other big brothers and little brothers that are out there is just because I think they represent what this program is really all about. They have a very special friendship. They do a lot of fun things together, and they've been together for a very long time. Some of the fun things that they've done I think are worthwhile. They've been a lot of firsts. Let's see, there's been a first going to the Bruins at the Fleet Center, and there's been a first probably meeting a Celtics player at a clinic. And I think there was even, a first of getting a flat tire on Storrow Drive in the rain? Was that a first? Do you remember that? Yeah, that's true friendship, right? Hanging out with him, fixing that tire in the rain. That'll do it. And then one of the things that I think has been so impressive about Peter is Peter has been incredible at being able to, I think, really come down and kind of walk in the shoes of a 12-year-old, a 13-year-old, or a 14-year-old and understand some of the special things that kids these days in the 90s are really facing. And I think that's why he's been able to break down some communication barriers that some of us might not have been able to do, and that's a very special thing. I would like to thank Peter on behalf of this organization, on behalf of Michael and Michael's family, and on behalf of myself, for all that you've done in your relationship with Michael, and for your continued support of the agency and its mission. You've really helped us a tremendous, and I know you've meant a great deal to this young boy sitting next to me, and I'm not supposed to be crying. Thank you, Peter.
Ladies and gentlemen, Peter Blackburn. I have to tell you, I met Peter and Michael earlier. Another first that's going to take place this fall is they squeezed me for a couple. Michael lives in Brighton. They squeezed me for a couple Boston College football tickets here this fall. So that'll be another first that's going to take place here. I shouldn't have said squeeze me, I guess. On that. It has to be. That's why you use the professionals. To introduce you to his big brother, Bashir Bouassi. Bashir?
Good evening. I told Michael for $100 I would say a few nice things about him. Since he didn't pay for a good commentary, you'll be hearing the $20 version of my speech. Michael and I have been matched for nearly 6 years now. I can remember when he used to pick me up by my elbows and bang my head against the ceiling. And then he wonders why I get a D in French. Seriously, over these past years, we have done many, many things together. One of the very first things that we did when we were first matched in 1993 was visit the U.S. Constitution when it was still being restored out of the water. Just last year, we visited it when it was sailing out of the Boston Harbor, fully restored. We have done every activity imaginable: mountain biking, kayaking, camping, backpacking, fishing, gone to sporting events, the aquarium, the Museum of Science. We've seen the Blue Man Group, the Nutcracker, and have involved ourselves in several other Big Brother events. One of our latest trips stands out the most, in which we hiked for 2 weeks through Alaska's backcountry. We stood on glaciers, saw huge grizzly bears, moose, and a ton of other wildlife. We also learned about current and past native traditions in Alaska. In the future, we are planning for an extensive mountain climbing trip that will lead us up to the summit of Mount McKinley. Over these past years with Michael, I have accomplished and learned much dealing with school, friends, and other relationships and activities. I've become more aware of different surroundings and have participated and accomplished many events and goals that I couldn't have done without Michael's encouragement and support. One of Mike's greatest influences has been to show me how to reach for higher goals and achieve them. Michael has done more than being a big brother, and in turn has taken place of a father where there was none. Mike and I have gained a lot from each other from being such good friends. Without the Big Brother Association, I would have never met Mike and had the opportunity to do many of these things. I'm honored to have him as a big brother and look forward to many more years together. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Big Brother distinction, Mike Gravel. Mike, congratulations. Thank you for your service. To read his letter about our next honoree, Edwin Cosme.
Thank you. Stephen Kirchen and I have been big and little brother for about 6 years. We have enjoyed seeing each other on Saturdays. We do many things together on our times, like playing sports, going out to dinner, movies, and going to Manaman. The two people I would like to say thanks to is Erica Kirchen, his daughter, and Eve Mertens. Erica is the one who introduced us, and Eve coordinated our visits and helped us get over our rough spots. I was in Erica's class in 1994 for the 4th grade. She was my student teacher. She taught the class pretty well. Yes. But anyways, Mr. Kirchen and I have something special, and that is respect. We have so much respect for one another. We have a good relationship. Sometimes we might have a few controversies, but otherwise we're cool. He is the best big brother I ever had. Mr. Kirchen is a big influence in my life because he teaches me so much. And I would like to say thank you for everything. Thank you.
Our final honoree is Steve Kirkton. Steve, congratulations. Can we leave this here for you?
Well, he really is something else. I have been Edwin's big brother for 3.5 years. And I've been blessed with having wonderful families. I've been blessed with wonderful children, wonderful sisters, wonderful parents, wonderful wife. But the one thing I never had in my life was a brother. So it was a little awkward when we started together. And Eve Mertens, who we were very fortunate to have as our counselor, took me aside very early on and said, "Stephen," she said, "you've raised 2 wonderful children. And you've brought them up with a bit of sternness and a bit of, hard lessons. But this is someone special you've got here, and the calling for you is to have fun with him, and just have fun with him, and save the lectures for later." And it was such a relief because that's what it has been for 3.5 years with this young man. He has made me so proud, and he has given me so much good times that if anybody is hanging out tomorrow morning around 9:30 or 10 and wants to take a ride on the blue line and the orange line over to Dom Savio Preparatory High School, where Edwin will be starting as a freshman next year, you're welcome to join us. This is my city. I have grown up here. I have worked for the premier newspaper in the Boston area, the Boston Globe, for 30 years. I care deeply about this city. And before I met Edwin, I always had that sense that to give back to the city was an important responsibility for me. And I've felt with the Big Brother Association, I've been able to do that. And I have to thank each and every one of you who have given of yourself and had your organizations step up to the plate to help us as Big Brothers. We wouldn't be able to make it without your support, because the Big Brother Association would not be able to give us the resources that we need to make these kids the next generations of Bostonians. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. Thank you, John. Thank you very much.
I think there's some information I'm supposed to have. No? Lynn? Go on. Read. The script has a blank in it. Well, one of the things I'll say is it's a very easy job that I have, as you can tell by the quality of the people that have stood before you. And I want to thank all of you here for helping us make such a special evening. The purpose is to raise money, and we raised an awful lot. I think that out of tonight we'll be able to make probably about 70 or 75 additional matches to boys on the waiting list. So I want to thank you. I have a few more thank yous to give, and I'd like to acknowledge the people who made tonight such a special evening. Our presenting sponsor, LPL Financial Services. Randy and Jean and all of the fine folks at Channel 7 who helped us make this professional. And is John McGee in the room? The lights are hard to find. John, would you stand? And I'd like to have your committee stand. Everyone involved in our committee, I'd like to have stand. John is the chairman of this event, and if you've ever been to his restaurant, you know that you get treated fine. Thanks a lot, John. Kramer Production did the fine video for us. R.R. Donnelly did the printing of our program. Winston Flowers provided the arrangements. And the list goes on. And the line here is that my staff would, pull me off stage if I tried to thank everyone, but I do want to take a minute, and I figured out a way to keep them from pulling me off the stand. If my staff, all of the staff involved and all the volunteers who helped make tonight possible, please stand. And I want to have you join me thanking Lynn Page, who coordinated this event. Many of us were strangers when this evening began, but that's what makes Big Brother work. The kindness of strangers has the power to change lives. You've been the proof here tonight. Now that you've shared with us this very special awards gala and helped us celebrate our 50 years of friendship, I hope that we can count you as members of the Big Brother family, and that we'll see you again here next year. Thank you very much. Good night.
Finally tonight, we want to tell you what an honor it has been for us to
Absolutely.
be here. You've saluted Mike, but I can tell you that all of us at 7 NBC, including the owner of Channel 7, Ed Anson, who is with us tonight, grew up in this area, feels very moved by the things that you do. We all salute the great efforts of everybody on behalf of these young men.
And we salute everybody here tonight. I've been told that through all of your generosity, we've raised $150,000 for the Big Brother Association tonight.
And there's more.
Pretty generous. I want all your names. You're invited to my next birthday party. I'll have a whole.
And we want to remind you, we're not done. There's plenty more to happen tonight. We've got great entertainment.
All right, the band, our favorite band, Eye to
Yeah.
Eye. Back
Play it
here,
up.
dance floor. They'll be sparking up the instruments. So the fun is really just beginning, I think.
Have a great night.
Thanks a lot,
Have
everyone.
a great weekend.